Today's episode of Cribs brings us to the Jackson Square neighborhood of San Francisco. On this block, there are a lot of design shops and antique shops, a lot of furniture. Where we're going right now is Chairish, which is bringing antique, pre-loved, high-quality furniture online in a marketplace for people to sell to each other. So we're going to check out their headquarters. Hi.
Hi.
You must be Anna Brockway.
I am. Nice to meet you.
Co-founder of Chairish.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
You bet.
Cool, so tell me about where we're at right now.
This building was built in the 1860s and actually used to be a whiskey distillery a long time ago. And it was a survivor from the 1906 earthquake because they brought a fire hose over all the way from Fisherman's Wharf across Telegraph Hill and kept this building from burning down. And so it's a bit of a joke about the fact that only in San Francisco would people let the churches burn, but would keep the whiskey distillery going. We should probably start up here. So one of the great things about this space is all the huge light-filled windows. And we work with a lot of San Francisco interior designers and retailers. And so what we do is invite them to come in and actually build out windows. A lot of those folks have beautiful offices and nobody ever sees them. So this is a way for them to bring their look to life and kind of what they're selling on Chairish into our windows. So this one was done by a local designer named Tamara Mack, who actually just kitted this out for us. And all this stuff's for sale on our site.
So do you ever have people kind of walk in thinking this is a store?
Yeah, and actually when we first opened, we didn't have a window here. It was just all offices, and everyone kept knocking on the door saying, "Who are you? What are you doing?" And so we're like, let's use the space. So it's a pretty limited array, but this is what we sell actually out of the store itself, and we do have a lot of foot traffic here, so we get a lot of visitors who come in. As you can tell, our logo is pink, kind of a corally pink, and so the idea behind the site is that we take things that are beautiful and people want to pass along to one another and make it easy for that to happen. And so there's definitely a handmade, hand-touched element to everything we do, and you'll see that in our graphics treatment that are applied all over the walls. I think this was in the 1900s. This is an old bank safe.
Whoa.
And it's actually the quietest conference room in the space. So if you're really brave, you can come in here and have a quiet meeting. Eric was just telling me that the owner of the whiskey place used to keep his money in here, and he sat outside with a huge shotgun. So Eric doesn't have the shotgun, and there's no money in here, but you can definitely have a meeting. So we all work in a super open environment, obviously very, very collaborative, and so this lets everybody kind of work together at all times. We have this huge whiteboard here where we keep all of our plans and programs kind of up so everybody can see them all at once and share them. So it's a kind of a collaborative workspace. One of the things we did when we came in is put in all this great lighting to kind of give it a sculptural element and to help define the space, because it's great that it's so open, but that makes it feel a little more defined.
It's nice because it's super bright, but it's also like soft ambient. It's not fluorescent.
Yeah, we've been happy with it. It's really pretty at night too, so it's great for a party. So one of the things about being in a retail space is there aren't a lot of walls, so we sort of had to make them. So these actually are really cool. We worked with In Studio to help us design our offices, and they recommended these pieces, which are actually corrugated cardboard. When they are delivered, they're only this thick, so they come basically in a little package, and they're recycled cardboard, and you stack them on top of each other like this, and it makes this really cool wall. And so that's what we've used in lieu of building walls and making office spaces. So it's given us this conference room space that you'll see here.
This is kind of unusual for normally we go to tech startups and it's like
there's
Fast
no paper.
Company and like Wired and like business magazines.
These are our design Bible. So one of the things that we do, obviously working in furniture and design space, is we're constantly looking for inspiration. And so obviously the magazines, online and offline, and we also have a pretty big design library of design books and stuff like that you'll see scattered around that we go to get ideas for how to put things together and stories together. Cool. And this is actually an example of that. So over here you'll see one of the things that we like to do is to show how you can use all these different types of pieces in really interesting ways to make your house beautiful. And so these are vintage pieces that we've sort of mixed together, and we shoot these and put them on the site. So the office also doubles as a studio for us, and this is just one of the vignettes we've been working on. This is, I think, one of the oldest little alleys in San Francisco, and it's really charming. Cars can come down it, but very rarely do. And so this also doubles for us as a basketball court, and we have a challenge out that if we hit our numbers for this month, we're going to get a ping pong table on wheels that we can roll out here and play ping pong during the nice day. So it's really fun. It has a lot of character, and the best part is being in the shadow of the pyramid, which is really nice.
Right.
Reminds you that you're in San Francisco every day. There's the fabulous Andy Denmark, our CTO, and his brother Thor, who works with him, the wonderful Nate and Steve Lindstrom, and this is kind of where all of the actual coding and development happens, is right here in this core team.
Right.
And they like to have it dark, as I'm sure you've heard. So they got this corner and we're oddly very happy with it, so good for them. And then this is just a coffee table that we keep out for people to have lunch and stuff like that, just kind of a coffee break area. And this is another example of a vignette that we're working on right now around pink and gray. So we use these spaces all the time, as I was saying, to kind of shoot things that we actually bring to life on the site. So these are items that are for sale from, 8 or 10 different sellers that we put together to make this story.
How often do you change these things?
We change things out on our site daily, so we're constantly reshooting and re-scrambling things. And so it's almost, it looks clean for you because you're here today, but there's usually a lot of boxes and stuff stacked up as we kind of put things together, and you think something's going to look good and then you move something, and so it's constantly changing.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's
cool.
fun. It just kind of makes it into a workshop. This actually is leftover from the Design Within Reach store that was here, but we loved it, so we kept it, and it's a timeline tracing the beginning of modernism to today, and then also a wall of fame for all of the very well-respected and well-known modernist designers. We sell their stuff as well, so that's kind of just a portrait wall of them that we thought was cool, and we kept around for that.
Great. Well, Anna, thank you so much for
my
showing
pleasure.
us around.
Thank you for coming.
Chairish. And I actually have a little bit of time, and there are so many nice little spots to sit. Do you mind if I hang out for a little bit?
How about if we go sit in my new window?
Okay.
Want to try it?
That sounds good.
Okay.